we go. That's a strong fish. I don't think that's the smallie I was going for. Huh. It's got some weight to him. Usually fish like this pop off. What's going on here? He's just sitting in one spot. I don't feel him. Maybe he's stuck on something, I don't know. Feels a lot heavier than a bass though. Might be a carp or a muskie or a big walleye, you never know. It could be a lot of things. Feels like he's stuck though. Like I got him stuck against a snag maybe, I don't know. Just jigging a Swimbait style jig, knockoff sassy shad, blue and black, 1/8 ounce. Through the eddies in the high water. He's right in front of me here. Still feel him on there, I think. Boy, this is dangerous. There we go, got him out. I think the line's a little bit braided though. He was definitely stuck on a rock. He might be a bass. He doesn't feel as big now. I think it was just the snag that was getting in my way. It made him feel heavier, that snag. Makes sense. The line was like caught under a rock or something. Oh, I think it's a walleye. Not a big one, but a good sized one, probably. That's why I just feel weight. He's not really fighting very much. He's just a dead weight like a walleye. Does make a lot of sense. Oh, he's a good one actually. Wow. I'm surprised. Took me a while to jig him up. It's definitely above average. It's a nice walleye. Felt one short strike from him a few minutes ago. Hey, he's a good walleye. He's low mid-20s, might be mid, probably mid-20s. Just don't want to slip here. That's my goal. Very slippery spot. Yeah, he might actually be a big one. He might be a master anglerfish. Best one I've gotten this spring so far, at least. It's probably 24, 25 incher. I'll go check. Spawned out, nice fish. Definitely above average for around here. That was a bite. There's a bass. That was awesome. I was pulling it right around that snag there. Like real tight to it. Tricky. It was just a little guy. That walleye was a solid 24 incher. Spawned out, but still above average in length for around here for sure. 1 inch shy of being a master angler walleye, so nice one. Wouldn't call it a big one, but definitely a real nice walleye. Looking for some big bass, but don't mind catching these little guys in between. Oh man, that same Swimbait jig. Just working that for now. Yeah, he's just a 15 incher maybe, right around there. Whoa, saw that strike. That was awesome with my polarized sunglasses. You never know where a bass is going to be hiding, even in this crap. They're in there all the time in that fast stuff. That looked like a bigger one. I was just burning the sassy sad jig thing. This guy has some attitude, wow. It's all about angles and timing and circumstance. And by circumstance I mean even if you're making good angles, it depends where the angles are in relation to the fish. So that's why you make the angles that matter over and over again. You know. That looks like a big one. Looks 18 plus. Could be wrong, but looks like a master anglerfish, barely. It's the smallie I was waiting for. Nice one. Extra difficult in this current though. He's gonna be close. He might be under actually. Still bigger than the last one though. Trying not to slip. If I slip, I die. That's why I'm taking my time here. Just like with that walleye. That line got so chewed up with the rocks. I'm glad I played him out carefully. Yeah, he's probably 17 and a half. Probably not quite 18. Might be a small one. I don't know. Whatever. Still a fun fight. There's one. Just had a better looking one over here follow me up and short strike me. I saw him bite down on it, but he only had the tail in his mouth, so I ripped it out of his mouth. This is just a little guy. Getting a lot of little guys today. A 15 incher, roughly, and one that measured out at 17 and a quarter. Looking for big ones, looking for 18, 19, 20, 21s. This guy's just a dink. Crushed it though. A little 12 incher. That might, no, it's a walleye. Wow. It's fighting like a bass. Strange. Really ripping around fast. I knew I saw a boil there. It's weird, he grabbed it right when I pulled it out from the snag. Just drifting a tube jig around. It's another walleye. Looks a little above average, but not as big as that first one. Average here is probably like 17. Actually, this one's pretty close to it. He's probably an 18. There we go. That took a while. There's a nice bass. Been throwing every lure known to man in here. All the ones that make sense at least, and oh, really, that's not true. I've just been throwing jigs. A lot of different jig styles. Working bucktails, other crap. Just waiting for a new fish to push in or a picky fish to get triggered. There was one that was like a lighter brown that followed me up there. This might be him, I don't know. There's only so many fish in here at one time, usually not a ton, so might be him, I don't know. Looks like a nice smallie. Okay sized. He's on the small side again, I think. A lot of small ones today, it's strange. Picked him up on the blue sassy shad thing once I switched back to it. The Swimbait jig. 1/8 ounce. Yeah, he's chunky, but he's not 18 inches. He's probably a 17 incher. Another small one. There we go. Oh, that was a nice one. Shoot. That one looked bigger than the others. Two in a row, wow. Feels more like a walleye. That last bass I landed was 16. That smallie that just jumped looked like it looked like he was better than 18, I'm guessing. Another skinny, maybe barely keeper walleye. He might make 15. I don't know. Go check. Just got another one to pick it up. Another walleye. I think it's just new fish moving in once in a while, so I gotta wait them out pretty much. Probably gonna cut the clips out, but I lost two bass so far, a small one and I think I was talking about it earlier, a big one, or it looked like a big one, 18, 19 incher. They both jumped and threw the hook. There's a keeper. The last one was half an inch under 15, so he went back in. This one's definitely over. He's a solid 16, at least. I scaled down to an 1/8 ounce 2-inch curly tail jig, or not curly tail, swimbait jig. Still a dark profile. First cast got one. It's definitely one of the picky ones. Might have been the one that I sore lipped before in that stretch. Because it was getting slow, so I figured I should switch it up, and that's what I've been doing. Sometimes scaling down, sometimes changing jig style just a little bit makes a big difference. Sometimes color too. Just little changes. He's not very big, he's a pretty small one. Like a 13 incher or something like that. Yeah, just a little guy. There we go, couple more casts. Oh, that's a bruiser. Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is a beauty. That was like 2 or 3 casts after I just caught that little guy. Scaling down is working wonders. Could be wrong, but that looked like a 19-20 incher. I had one on almost this size earlier and he threw the hook when he jumped. We have to play this one out, even on 8-pound test. He is taking some oh, you gotta be kidding me. Are you serious? He popped off. All the best ones today popped off. That's terrible. Man, my disappointment is beyond words right now. That was a 20 incher I just lost. Why are all the good ones popping? I land all the small ones today. It's terrible. I have that problem like a few times a year. It's like I'll hook 3 big ones in a day and all 3 will pop off and I'll land every other fish. But, you know, overall I still land most of the big ones I catch. It's just sometimes you have those real unlucky days, it seems. Or I do at least. I 180'd the presentation, put on a chartreuse with an orange head, even though darks have been killing it all morning, just to see if I could get like, I don't know, a reaction strike or something, I guess. And it worked. Another small one. I'm only gonna lose the big ones today. Son of a gun. Still the same style jig, 3-inch. Like before with the blue and black one. So I got a screamer on. I don't know what it is, but I'm definitely gonna have to walk it down. Got no choice in the matter. I don't know what it is. It might be something foul hooked. If it pops off suddenly, we'll know why. I hooked him in the side or something, I don't know. Been waiting for this. Foul hook a bigger fish. I gotta be super careful walking this guy down though. I can't run after him. So it's so slippery and deep and the current's still pretty bad right now. Yep, just like that. It's coming back up, weird. I don't know why. He's not huge. I've definitely hooked bigger fish in here, but with this sort of current, he's got some strength. I don't know what it is. Might be a carp, or could be a lot of things. Could be a lot of things. So hopefully he doesn't get in some junk here. He's going back into the current. Strange. If I were him, I would go straight downstream. He can probably outrun me at this point. This is so tricky. This current here. Just gotta get onto the gravel. The rocks are covered with terrible algae. That's the problem. I'm still just burning these sassy shad jigs. Swimbait style jigs. I was burning a blue one this time when this thing got hooked on. Just don't get in the junk. Now make sure he doesn't get in the rocks. I can't get him out there. Alright, work our way over here and start pulling them downstream. I think we made it, barely. Yep, pull them down to the island. got some weight to him. A little bit. A little bit of weight. I can move him at least. So he can't be that heavy. See, I'm moving him just a touch. Just a touch. I want to know what you are, please. At least give me that. I want to get this guy close enough to see what he is. Oh man, he keeps going into the current. Terrible place. Sometimes trees and stuff get snagged in there, in the shallows. Oh, don't go out too far, shoot. The farther he goes out, the more screwed I am. Because that angle of that line changes and it starts clipping on junk. And that's when they cut you off on rocks and whatever. Once they get over to the other side, shoot, I'm slipping so bad. So tricky. Yeah, go in the deeper part, please. That's much better. Go back downstream. I'm having a hard time budging them. I'm inching them along. I hooked a bunch of bigger fish the other day. They were just screaming. I couldn't budge them a single inch. This guy I can budge at least. I stand half a chance. Maybe not half. Maybe like a finally on the gravel. I'm not going to die at least chasing this guy down. Oh, please be like a 34-inch walleye, please. For the love of everything, the redeemer fish today. Instead it's going to be a carp. And it's going to pop off probably. And I'm going to be left thinking it was something else. For the millionth time. I've had this happen with so many fish. You just hook fish once in a while that are big while you're fishing for smaller ones. Had it happen many dozens of times probably. Most of the time you lose them. Just because they're foul hooked or something dumb like that. Or if they're muskies or pike or tigers, they cut you off halfway through the fight. I don't know. All sorts of stuff happens like that. He's pushing shallow again. I don't like that. He's way in the tail end of the pool. Oh, I can't reach him out there. It's probably a good 5 feet deep where he is. At least, maybe about 5. Yeah, that's my guess. About 5. I have to get downstream from him though. Can't. I'm not gonna be able to pull him upstream. I know that much. I want him. He's just sitting there, just sitting in the current. Oh, please be a 34-inch walleye. That'd be the most beautiful thing. I didn't feel a tap, so he might be foul hooked. But the fact that he hasn't fallen off tells me he might not be foul hooked. Either way is a possibility at this point. It's hard to tell. Most of the time if they're foul hooked, they just fall off because there's so much pressure on the line and it just rips out of wherever it's in. Sometimes though, if you hook carp in like the fins, they don't fall off. It's a really sticky place for a carp. Like the jig just sticks in there so hard that it just never really rips out. I don't know why. Their fins are just tough. It's almost as tough as their lips. Like, yeah, he's still there. He's moving around a little bit. It's not a rock. Sometimes these fish will just move around so much they'll find a snag and you'll still be fighting them, but it'll take you a minute to realize they traded the jig out for a snag by brushing against it. And you won't be able to move either of them, the fish or the snag, but it'll take a minute to realize you've been pulling on a log for the last 30 seconds. I can still feel him though. He's just moving just a little bit. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on in. I want to see what you are so badly. I've had this happen so many times here. And almost every time they pop off from the pressure. I just want to see what type of fish it is. My guess is usually a carp, but I know sometimes it's a muskie because it cuts you off. Right in that little pocket there. I think I got him tired out. Watch him pop off right now. Oh. Trying to keep the angle of the line the same so we don't get any. Of course, we're in the current again. Terrible place to be. Feels like dead weight, like a carp or a walleye, but the odds of it being a walleye are really slim, I think. Very, very slim. Gotta keep my eyes peeled here. We're on these slippery rocks again. Oh, screw this, I'm going for dry land. There we go, now I can outrun them. This algae is just ridiculous. It's so hard to stand on without corkers. Oh, come on, baby, come on. I just want to see you. I just want to see you. Just want to see you. Come on, baby. What is it? I see. It looks like a carp color. Not 100% sure though. Come on, baby. Come on. Ease them in here. This is the home stretch. Right into that bay. Go in there. Go in there, man. Looks kind of like a carp. Just trying to chase him now so I can see him. I see like a brownish tan like a carp on the fin. Got that scummy algae on the line. Hopefully it doesn't screw things up. This is a carp, feels like a decent one. Feels like 20 or better pounds, but I could be wrong. I haven't really seen them yet. It's just a guess on the weight from feeling them here. I fought a heck of a lot of 20 and 30 pound carps in my day. There's just a lot of them around here for some reason. Not a lot of 40s, but a lot in the 20 to 30 range, including 30s. He looks like a bruiser carp. Maybe bruiser, hard to tell. He does look like a carp. I got him hooked on the front end. I don't know if I have him in the mouth or not. That would be pretty cool. I've hooked carp in the mouth, but not very often, like once or twice a year. They also feel a lot heavier if you don't hook them in the mouth, so that could explain a lot here. Appears to be a carp hooked on the, not mouth, the top of his head. That explains a lot there. He's not that big. He's just hooked in a terrible place. That makes it hard to drag him in. Alright, this has been a very revealing experience. Now, let's get you in shore here so we can deal with you. Holy cow, I'm sweating. Oh. It's interesting. Oh man. Oh, my hand hurts. Okay. Tired out yet, buddy? Come on, let's go in. It's not that big. He's like an average size one. Whoa, okay. It's gonna be a minute here. Burned it right into his skull. At least I got to see him. I can't complain about that. There's just so much current here. There's just so much pressure on the line when you fight these things this size, or muskies this heavy or heavier. It's so hard to land them. Just because the jig tears out of wherever it's hooked from all the pressure. You got to put some backbone into it to pull them out of that sort of tornadic currents there. Oh man, my hands are so tired. Too much jigging. Oh. Yeah, I got him like right in the gill plate. So hard to pull them in sideways. It just makes it such, like, the tail, when you hook them in the tail, it makes them no, not again. We're just going straight in this time, man. We're going straight in. You don't have a choice. We're going this time. But, oh weird, he has like cancer on his mouth. That's awful. When you hook them in the tail, they run really hard. When you hook them in the mouth, they run kind of hard. When you hook them in the side, man, they're just a dead weight. They have to pull in sideways, like really awkwardly, because they're still running around in circles. Yeah, it's like a, I don't know, 34-incher. I would have loved it if you were a walleye. That would have made my year. Oh, that would have been amazing. If you were a walleye, you would have been about state record size, or weight, I mean. So you're hefty. Working the 2-inch black Swimbait jig again. I just twapped it out of a snag, and this guy grabbed it right when I did that. It's kind of funny. They do that sometimes. It's like a reaction strike or something, like, because the jig's moving extra fast. That's my only guess. It's happened a lot to me over the years. right when you whip it out from a snag and it flings out, they grab it. You know, and that's after you run it through 10 times before it and get nothing. So there's something about it. It's another little guy. That carp was around 33. I measured him with the pole and then let him go. But he was like from the butt of the pole up to here. So I measured the pole after. Oh. Yeah, just a little guy. You know, 14 and a half, something like that. Lost the big bass I was going for, but still ended up catching some nice bonus walleye. You know, coming home with 4, almost limited out, but 5th one was half an inch under limit. You know, 3 of them are just average ones for around here, 15.5 to 18, and then one nice above average 24 incher. So, a bunch of nice fillets. I take them home, cut them up, and share them with my friends.